Hey, Molly, over here.
Hello, darling.
How are you?
I'm absolutely brilliant, thank you.
How's fight week been for you so far?
Do you know what? I'm not sure if you have felt the calm, but I feel like this is the calmest UFC I've probably ever been a part of. Like, the hotel's calm. There's not a lot of, there's no one here. We're just being able to relax. And I think it's my 4th UFC London, so it feels very much like I'm back at home.
Is that refreshing in a way?
Yeah, it is. I really like being here. I really like London. I like the vibe, and yeah, it's nice to not be very apprehensive all the time when you don't know the layout. You just sometimes fight weeks are hectic, and I think when Patrick's here, sometimes everyone wants to fight him before we even get in the cage. So there's a lot of madness always, but not this time.
Yeah, and obviously your last one didn't go your way. What was kind of the biggest takeaway from that fight?
Just, I had the best fight camp of my life. I'd brought in amazing training partners. I levelled up, and I think I just didn't get what I thought I deserved. I got the worst outcome I've ever received in a fight, to be honest. So I went away. I took time off. I kind of had to reset because I feel like I'd been on this very high trajectory. It was very fast. It was a lot to have to deal with for any human. And I just had to ground myself a bit and just realise my whole world isn't fighting. I think you'll all know that fighters live and breathe for this. And sometimes you get consumed and it's just, I've got to do this, I've got to do this, I've got to do this. And you don't feel like you can say no, and you can turn things down, and sometimes you're running on zero. I'm going to kill you, Liam McCourt, Cardi B. And yeah, I feel like Erin's a stud, isn't she? I don't think any of us really knew the level of her, and I think watching her win her next fight was, it was like a little bit easier for me to take the blow as what I did, but look, I had to walk through a lot after that fight personally. Like, I had to deal with just the loss and grieve the loss and just bounce back. I think you all know after I've lost, I do normally come back on a couple of big fight win streaks. So.
And does it kind of light a fire under you? Because I know fans sometimes in the sport can be a little bit fickle when a fighter comes off of a loss. So has that kind of lit a fire under you?
I think I've really learned to understand that I won't take the fans' praise or the hatred. Like, the praise won't make me perform better, and the hatred doesn't. I don't need to be emotional and I'm going to prove them wrong, because when I go to sleep at night, who's next to me? It's my fiancé. Who's there? It's me and my own brain. So I think I've just got over that bit, and it is overwhelming. Do you know what I mean? Like, no one's taught how to kind of navigate through these bits, but again, I feel like you'll all notice when fighters become a bit more experienced, they're able to just park that bus and don't need to get on that bus anymore. Do you know what I mean? So that's been a big learning curve for me, and it's a lot easier on the mental when you don't look at comments and you don't have to go there. Do you know what I mean? Because some of the stuff that you read, honestly, you don't know because you've been around the sport, and obviously you see the comments that come through. But for me, when Valentina lost to Alexa, the hate she got online, I thought that's one of the best who's ever graced. Or when Amanda lost to Pena once, the hate, I was just like, what's going on here? But the internet's just horrific at the minute, no matter if it's sport, politics, life, anything. There's no positive in it, so I just think, don't even go there. Do you know what I mean?
And is it extra special that you get a chance to rebound in the UK co-main event?
That was I didn't even know until Tuesday that was a thing. So that was, if you know, it's big for me. Do you know what I mean? I think my career has been very much like people's real life. Do you know what I mean? The highest highs, the lowest lows, and just trying to show resilience to keep on pushing through. And I'm the most calm I've ever been. I'm the most relaxed I've ever been. And I really hope that I watched Macy and Amanda the other week, and they was the co-main, and they got a lot of hate, like they shouldn't be co-main, and they gave the fight of the night, in my opinion. And I'd like to make sure that me and Juliana do exactly the same. And I don't think I've ever had a rubbish minute in that O2 arena. Do you know what I mean? I've given my whole life, every minute in that arena, and nearly lost an eye and an elbow. So I think I'm very excited and grateful.
One last one from me. Julia's making her flyweight debut. What are you expecting out of her?
We signed for this fight on the 24th of February, and it was supposed to be on June 10th. I'm not sure if she told you that before. So we was told about it maybe like the 5th, like round about Valentine's Day. It's nearly 5 months. That is a long time to be prepared. I am so light. I'm like eating carbs. I was downstairs having toast with my eggs from the PI. Do you know what I mean? So I'm in the shape of my life. I believe she'll be in the shape of her life. She's not coming here just for a paycheck. She's not coming here to make up the numbers. She believes that she's going to take a win home, and I expect the hardest part about this fight camp for myself and her will have been to stay on it, because that's a long time. So making sure that we've both periodised correctly is going to be really important. And I can't wait to see what she's got. I heard her saying she took 40 featherweight fights just to get them. Apparently she's never had a problem really making weight the last few times for bantam, which I don't know how true that is, but we'll see tomorrow on the scales, won't we? I wish her a happy weight cut, a good refuel, and a brilliant night tomorrow, Saturday.
Thank you.
Molly, you just mentioned there about Julia's weight cuts in the past, and a lot of the narrative that I've been listening to up to this fight has been, she's struggled at 135 before. Making 125 that's a bit of a risk for her. How is it affecting you, and have you thought about how you'd react or proceed forward if she does miss weight?
I haven't really thought about it too much, because if we're all being honest, I'm one of the lighter flyweights, and everyone kind of looks like a bantamweight who I fight anyway. They're all 5 inches taller and normally have like an 8-inch reach on me, so I can't see too much being a difference. I don't know, will she be a bit more drained because it's been a long time for her to cut weight? Or did you see the state of me at my UFC debut and what my body shape looked like? And then when I took my nutrition serious, because I had the help, I'm a completely different athlete. So that could have been the kick up the arse for her to give her what she needs to be, who she needs to be. But I can't focus on her and what she's about. I've just got to stay tunnel vision and doing my bit on Saturday night. And that's all I've really thought about, mate.
So, also, I think there's Andre Muniz, who is a ranked middleweight, and then there's 2 ranked bantamweights fighting on this card. I think the bantamweights are on the prelims of this, but you are the co-main event. How much pride do you take that you've achieved so much popularity with the fans, but also with the UFC, that they see you as someone they're very happy to push high up a card and to provide them with great fights? Does that give you a sense of pride?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's making sure that I know I deserve it. I know like there's been a lot of controversy over it. But this is my 11th fight in the UFC. I've nearly given me eyesight to this company. I've broken bones, torn ligaments. I give every interview that I can. I do everything to represent this company to the best of my ability. And I think it's about time. And I remember when I got the main card last March, Hunter, I sat next to him before Patrick walked out, and he went, "It was my decision to do this. I'm so made up." And then in the July fight, again, when I won, I sat next to him, and he was like, the crowd wasn't popping until you came out. Thank you very much. And I'm kind of kill or be killed, aren't I? Like, my fights aren't boring. I just try to be a fan favourite, and I think I will be that. I am that, and I'll show that on Saturday. And I haven't really thought about it too much, because, I don't know, my last performance, I was living my dream, and I was thinking about too much about the dream, do you know what I mean? And I'd done the same at UFC Liverpool, thinking about too much. Oh, I've done it. I haven't got the win yet, so I'm as good as my last performance in the eyes of the public, and that was fucking pony. So best little meatball, throw some elbows on Saturday night.
Looking forward to it. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Molly, over to your left. Hiya.
Mate.
Just to circle back to something that you were talking about earlier, like that run you had in 21, 22, your career was going at like 100 miles an hour. And now you're saying how calm things are this week, and things maybe are slowing down a little bit. Is that also reflected in how you're seeing things as a fighter? Is the sport slowing down for you and obviously helping you as a result?
Do you know what? After that fight, I took, like I said, I can't even come in the gym. Like, I was that sore. I took 2 months out, and I didn't know if I'm not going to do this if I don't believe that I can achieve something, because it's too hard. And I took 2 months out, and I've realised what's important to me, and it's my friends and my family, and my family really are my gym family. Do you know what I mean? They're there for me through everything. And I got engaged on New Year's Eve / New Year's Day. And then from that moment, me and Ellis bought a house, and then I got a business. And then I was training, obviously, all the way through. But I got asked to fight on UFC London in March. I said, I'm not ready. And I would have never have said that before. But I was just like, I just need to be Molly. I just need to not have to be like Meatball all the time and be like, yo, what's happening, people? Like, I need to live just for a minute. Do you know what I mean? Since I've been in front of you all, like, I'm 100 miles an hour. I give fucking every single piece of my energy to use and to the crowds and to the fans. And I just needed to live. And what I've realised is I've got my roots in my home. I've got a steady income in my business. I've got a steady income in my sponsorship and my company. And that settled me. And I think when your central nervous system's calm, you're not always on fight or flight. You're not always anxious. And you can't walk down streets sometimes where I live because people are just flocking to you. So it's quite hard, do you know what I mean? But like we say, at 11 fights in now, you're right, I can see clear vision what's being asked of me. I've got the coping tools and mechanisms to handle this and not exert too much and give you what you need, but still keep what I need. And I really, really believe that you can make more correct decisions when you're like that. Like, if you look at my last win, which was a year ago at UFC London, my eyes looked like a woman possessed walking to that cage. When I was in there, I was just dialed in, and I feel like I'm there again, but better, if you know what I mean.
And looking at different fighters across the sport, some of them walk out to pumping heavy metal music, some of them walk out to gangster rap. You walk out to a song that's basically a love letter to your home city. Yeah. It's not a stereotypical walkout song. Mm-hmm. What does that song mean to you? Because you always get very emotional when you walk out to it.
And I feel like I'm cry just talking about it.
You're belting it out every time. Mm-hmm. But I think people sort of can relate to that as well. So I just wanted to ask what that song and what, you know, being able to walk out to that means to you.
Obviously, Jamie Webster's a great friend of mine, and there's a few of us who are so patriotic. The Brazilians are the same, the Irish are the same, Scousers are the same, Mexicans are the same, Americans are the same, but I think it's a little bit different with the Americans. I feel like we have this fighting spirit because we're so oppressed as a city or a nation, and in that song it kind of just unites that, like, the qualities of us as, like, we're not a different race, but Scousers are different beings, aren't we? We're a little bit nuts. So everything Jamie says in that song, I just feel in my bones and in my essence. And sometimes the walkouts for the crowds, and I think when I changed the walkout for myself, it helped me develop my own fighting style because I wasn't just a lunatic. But Jamie Webster's got another song that is equally amazing for Scousers, and I'm actually walking out to that with a little bit of Everton in the mix. So, because Paddy's not on, I've got to make sure that the walkout tune's up there on Saturday night. So, I've got the skyline tattooed on my ankle of Liverpool. I've got my people, my city, my heart tattooed on me. So no matter where I go, my city comes with me everywhere, and it'll be the same on Saturday night.
Brilliant, thanks a lot.
No problem.
Hey Molly, to your right. You were saying earlier that you're in the best shape of your life. You also said that on Instagram yesterday. Have you changed anything specifically about your training or your diet to get to that point?
My nutrition and strength and conditioning is Vortex. It's Paul Reed and Carl Evans. And this camp, Carl works with the boxers and Paul Reed works with the MMA fighters. But I've just been going over with the MMA lot a little bit more. That's the only difference that I can really say, lads. And other than, this has been 5 months. Do you know what I mean? This has been 5 fucking months. That is a long time. I cheated on my diet once at Paddy Pimblett's wedding. Do you know what I mean? And that was about it. I've stayed committed. I believe it. Look, I've been on sorry, my eyes watering from when I broke it 3 years ago. I've been really committed. Every time I lose, you see it with every fighter, you just bite down and you give more and you try to level up in a different way. And I think that's what I've tried to do my best. Not that I would ever cheat on anything ever, but I don't know. I've tried.
You mentioned as well that the internet is horrific when it comes to subjects like sport and politics. You've always been quite outspoken about your political views. I was wondering what your thoughts were on some of the current issues of the day, like the cost of living crisis, government plans to turn refugee boats around.
I think, lad, I think no human is an illegal alien, do you know what I mean? I don't think like any human deserves to be turned away when they flee in war and famine and prosecution for something they've not done. I'm Labour through and through. Support the unions, I back the unions, I stand with the unions. Keir Starmer is not a good guy in the Labour's books at the minute. Rishi Sunak is scum of the earth to this country. And I don't know. I think if you read online, like it gets broken down quite a lot when you tax like inheritance, when you tax the super rich 1 or 2%, the money is there for the majority. And I side more with socialism, and I know that doesn't make a country and an economy sometimes can't run off that, and the ideology is more better in principle than it is in reality. But I just don't understand how the left is now gearing to the right. So it's hard. I've really tried not to look at too much politics a lot at the minute, because I feel like for every single country in this room, they are failing us. Like the governments in every country is just not doing the right things at the minute.
Thanks, Molly. All the best.
No problem. I probably get more hate for that than any in this week, to be fair. Go on, lad.
Yeah, I'm just asking about the mural that was unveiled a couple of months back from Paddy.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on it, and how did you go out of your way to drive past it?
The mural, I'm not sure if anyone's seen, it's a massive me and Paddy mural, and it's got my sports bras in blue and his gloves in red, and there's like a wide road where if you go this way it takes you to Goodison Park. I'm doing really well to stay focused with whatever's going on back there. If you go to the left, you go to Goodison Park. If you go to the right, you go to Anfield. And me and Patrick have always tried to be the bridge of the gap for the Reds and the Blues. And every run I do on a Monday after I finish my session, I run round Goodison Park and I come back to the gym. So I probably see it at least once a week. But the likeliness is uncanny. My teeth just look exactly the same, like on the side of a house, which is hilarious. Big white things in your face. And it's a proud moment, you know. The guy who done it kind of said, we're going to put a quote on, I want to put Scousers don't get knocked out. I said, you do not put that. I said, because if that happened, well, it's happened, hasn't it? It's happened, so we don't want to just be made trolls of. But I said, it's our people, it's our city. It needs to say something about that, do you know what I mean? So it's like our city, our people, our heart. And if there's a few people who walk around that city who personify Scousers and put them first and foremost, and I definitely think we're two of them, so I was really proud of that. Thank you.
Molly, was there a part of you after your last fight against Erin that wanted your next fight to be against another grappler just to kind of silence the doubters?
People like give me hell for this matchup, and what I'd like to say to you all is, have you ever seen me turn down a fight? I broke my eyeball, my eye socket, a couple of years ago. 9 weeks later, I was fighting. I was 3-1 underdog. Every single fight, I've never, stylistically, I don't get to choose. I don't say no. I give you the company gives to me. I say yes, thank you very much, and I try my absolute best. So some people can say whatever they want, but I'm just here trying to be the best me that I can be. And I never underestimated Erin Blanchfield. But she's just a killer, isn't she? She's going to absolutely, I think she'll be the the world champ for a very long time at whatever weight she wants to go at, to be honest with you, because she's just got the perfect style to kill everyone's style. But the fight before that, the girl was a grappler. All the fights before that, if you can't stand with me, like, people will just hold me and take me down anyway. So I don't feel like game plans really change for me. It's just normally length and reach. But I don't know, to knock another grappler out, or to maybe even submit one, I hope it wouldn't even matter, you know, actually, that, because people would still say, she's a black belt, Hodger Gracie, and if I dismantled her, she'd then be like, oh, well, she was a bantamweight anyway, oh, well, she struggled with the weight cut, so it doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? We could create a narrative any which way we want, but it doesn't really matter. No problem. Am I done? Oh, you've got a question? Yeah. Go on, mate.
Yeah, you talked about like the Liverpool and the fans. They always seem to sort of fill up this arena and overtake the Londoners whenever you guys are on the bill. Do you expect it to be the same again?
I absolutely know it will. I sold a lot of tickets for the fight, a hell of a lot, and I know half of Dublin will be there supporting me. All the Scousers will be there for me and Shorter on Saturday night, and there'll be a sea of tricolour and a sea of, I still imagine there'll be Paddy the Baddy wigs and all the rest of it, so I absolutely cannot wait to hear that crowd. That's the thing that's been getting me through when the days are long and the sessions are hard, because I've had to train with big boys for this. Sometimes rewatching your walkout is a magical thing, and just to hear, do you know, when you're in a fight you don't actually take in the magnitude, but when I listened to my last 2 fights I was like, wow, that was like a lot of noise for me out there, and I can't wait for it, lad. Thanks for your